have to start off with a sigh.
Yeah,
it's not an episode of the House of Mario without you starting off with a sigh.
No, you just got to get the big breather.
Here we go. Here's an episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, Nintendo 64. Episode 64. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, alongside my co-host, Bryce.
Well, we started this one off nicely.
We did. So Bryce, how's your weekend been, dude?
Weekend? Yeah. It's been a weekend.
It's been a weekend.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
that's good.
I took it upon myself to finish X finally.
Oh, nice. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes, that's the one.
On the nice old glossy jet
Woo.
black Wii U. Yes,
yeah, that's the one. I prioritised finishing that over Torna because I was already most of the way through it, and I was just like, you know what? I've been telling myself I'm to finish this shit for ages.
And you finally finished it.
I finally finished it, and makes me a little bit worried for the future because that game's been out for 3 years now, and that game, as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing, without spoiling anything too harsh, it sets up the world, but doesn't conclude anything.
Okay.
So it's made in mind for a sequel or DLC or something like that. DLC obviously never came for the game, and it's not going to now.
No.
The developers have expressed their interest to make a sequel, and they did that this year. But I'm a bit worried that it won't get one, and that would suck if it didn't, because there's a lot of world building there that they did, and for people that are fans of the predecessor series Xenogears, it kind of tickles their fancy a little bit because it's a sci-fi fantasy game in comparison to, technically the other two Xenoblade games are as well, but they don't feel half as sci-fi fantasy as what.
Yeah, well, they don't look anywhere near as
No.
sci-fi, but like I haven't played the games, but just judging from the sales figures, I know being on the Wii U would have obviously hindered this game a lot, but just seeing the sales figures, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sold much better than X. Do you? I
think that's way more attributed. I think that's way more attributed to.
Oh yeah, definitely the system it was on.
The system it was on and the time it was released.
Yeah,
because a lot of people that picked up X loved X for its revolution on how Xenoblade Chronicles combat was, because it gave you a lot more variety, a lot more to work around with the system, and much bigger things to fight with, much more challenging obstacles to overcome. But the story was, and this was my point, it doesn't really go anywhere.
Can you see them jumping between the two then? Maybe going back to X, or they're just...
I'd love them to, but at this point in time, 2's finished now. So that's good. That means they can start on a new project. But Monolith is actually Monolith Soft or whatever.
Monolith Soft, yeah.
Are dwindling in employees. They actually don't have that many. So starting a big ambitious project like X2 might be a bit hard.
Are they downsizing to restructure for a different product or something?
No downsizing. They've just gotten smaller over time.
Okay.
I guess the thing is with Xenoblade 2, they pumped out as much as they could or whatever and stuff like that. And ever since that's released, they've lost a couple of key members from what I understand. And I feel like maybe down the line we might get X2, and I feel like it's a requirement at this point. I don't care if it doesn't top off in a trilogy, but the entire thing I had with the story is it gets you invested in this world by giving you a bunch of assets that make the world, because it's colonized Earthlings going to a completely different planet and trying to make a new home. It really sets up the world, but it never goes anywhere with it. It kind of ties up one possible thing, and then after that, it just leaves more questions. The entire ending is a cliffhanger, like a
that sucks.
No, like a beyond a joke cliffhanger. It's like, oh my god, this thing happened, and then that conversation cuts there, and then you see somebody that you presumed was dead, I guess. He's just there, he wakes up and he's just like, oh my god, he's there, he's alive. And then it's like, and then it comes up with the text, this world's story never truly ends. And then that's it.
No, literally a cliffhanger.
It's literally a cliffhanger.
Yeah, there's a lot of cliffs in that game too, so...
Haha!
Yeah.
No, it just, it ends so abruptly, and like it just makes you... And I've talked to Eric about it before too, when we were talking about the spoiler cast. He said that game ends on a cliffhanger, and I didn't know how much of a cliffhanger it ends on, but it ends in such a cliffhanger, it hurts.
That's a bit like after a game that wants you to put so much of your time into, it really needs to reward you sort of at the end. Did you feel good at the end?
Okay. I felt the time I felt the best was when I hit that point where I could fly around in my skeleton and explore that world.
Yeah.
In a mech and like fly above the entire thing and still see all the specklings of like monsters running around on the ground. It's a technological marvel, but it's just when you get to that ending, the ending leaves you wanting. It doesn't feel like that's the end of the game, but it is. That's the last chapter. You're done.
That's really odd. Yeah,
it is really odd. They've left it wide open for a sequel. They've expressed their interest in doing it, but they've also expressed that they want to be darker with it and raunchier with it.
Oh.
So Mass Effect, a la Mass Effect, which would be cool, but whether Nintendo would ride up on that or anything like that is another question. Obviously, minor spoilers as much as possible. Couple of like minor ending spoilers, but
for what game though? X
for X.
X, yeah.
Like at this point, I'm not sure it really matters because I'm not even sure if we're going to get a port. I really want one. I'll play it again if we get a port.
I think we will eventually. Like I said a couple of days ago, with these Wii U ports, whether they come next year, the year after, or when the Switch is already been replaced by another console, they might still come eventually.
Yeah.
Like there are a fair few great Wii U games, but there's not a heap left. There's probably 10. I'm not going to go and count every single Wii U game.
No.
But at a rough guess, there's about that left, which you would want to bring over on Switch, and that's one of them. So, you have 3 or a couple a year. You'll get there. They'll have to get to that game eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, I intend to keep playing the game despite the fact it's finished because the world is filled with stuff I can do. I'm at that point where like I've got to really build my characters up and make them the best they could possibly be to take on the biggest and baddest that they've got there. I've got to get the right skills and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm interested in streaming that process because it's non-spoilery. I think that's my biggest thing going into streaming things like that is that if I can get to the end game and it's got an end game, it's not that spoilery.
Yeah.
So I mean, if people are interested, I'll stream X. I don't know. I might pose the question out there and ask in the Discord if anybody's interested in seeing that game because a lot of people didn't get to touch that game.
Yep, go to IV Revan. So if you want to see some X streamed
on Twitch, or Discord if you want to put in your inquiry.
Will you be the only one streaming it? Probably.
Well, yeah, I only ever seen like the occasional speedrunner or something like that running it. And I mean the game could be speedrun in 4 hours if you know your shit.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
It's not like oversaturated or whatever, but I'm just interested in fighting the biggest and baddest that the game has to offer, and there's a lot of that, and a lot of interesting, unique monsters that pose a threat to your journey and all that stuff. So, I'd like to do that. So I don't know. I might do it one day. I think.
Yeah, do it.
I think it'll be interesting.
If you guys didn't know, we are the Nintendo Podcast, a part of the 8-Bit Collective.
You didn't even mention that.
I didn't. You ran off with it, so go for it, bro. Go for it, boy. This week we're going to be talking about some Smash leaks, Telltale Games closing down. But before that, we've got a Furphy here, and we're going to sit down and talk about some of the news stories that came out this week.
Yes.
And of course, Nintendo Switch Online. I knew there was a third thing there. I don't know, the biggest thing of the week.
NSO.
Yes. So it doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
No. Nintendo Switch Online, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live Gold. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Anyway, this first topic's a really heartwarming one. Nintendo gives terminal cancer patient the chance to play Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is courtesy of Nintendo Life.
Yep.
And, so Bryce, you've been following this throughout the week. I haven't been following it as closely, apart from just an article here and there. But...
So, a Twitter user by the name of Spooky Woobler has been battling cancer for his 4th time. He's beaten it 3 times, but
Jesus Christ,
he's only a young lad. I think he's only about 20, 21 maybe. He's very young, and unfortunately, this last bout of cancer, he's not going to make his way through it, and that's awful. He's a huge Nintendo fan, and he loves Super Smash Brothers, and the last thing he wanted fulfilled was the opportunity to play Smash Ultimate before it came out. And a lot of people campaigned for this fella, saying, let's get him the game, let's get him playing it. And voila, it happened. 2 Nintendo reps showed at his house. They didn't disclose when they were doing it. They just asked for an address, and they just gave him a relative time. And they went over there with a secured console and a secured E3 demo. And they let him, his mate and his brother play Smash Ultimate for 3 hours. So, obviously, poor Spooky Woobler, he can't get out of bed or anything like that too often, and so they just plugged him up with the TV. He put some pictures up on Twitter of him and his brother and his mate playing the game, and honestly, it's just really heartwarming, and big kudos to Nintendo for not just sweeping it under the rug and, you know, doing something like that for him. Obviously, they pretty much had 2 security guards on standpoint, because that's quite valuable at this point in time. You know, they brought it around and they let him play all he desired, which is
like a company like Nintendo that, you know, is a pure entertainment company. We play these games because they cheer us up, because they make us feel good, because they're fun. If Nintendo was like, just ignored it, whatever, like, what's the point of you guys even existing? You know,
look, you know, I could probably say like a lot of companies would almost just sweep it under the rug. I don't think anybody's that heartless, but I think due to security measures and stuff like that, this is Nintendo's biggest game this year. Obviously, you don't want anything to go wrong, and you know, them losing the copy of that game for whatever reason. So while they did have people there watching over it and doing all that stuff, you know, just seeing these 3 guys all smiling and playing Smash Bros is, you know, it's really heartwarming, because the fella's only got a couple months left, and
he declined treatment as of July, so he's got about 6 months.
Yeah, and I mean,
by the doctors.
Exactly. Yeah. He declined treatment because this is his 4th time around, and
you can only do it so many times.
You can only do it so many times before it just gets exhausting, and it costs people so much money, and he doesn't want to, you know, and that's really upsetting. But I think he's just sort of come to the acceptance that, unfortunately, this is the way it's going to happen, and that's terrible. But I'm glad that Nintendo could put a bit of shed on his life and give him the opportunity to play the game that he might not be able to play, but he really wanted to. You know, it's really heartwarming. So kudos Nintendo. That's brilliant of you, Spooky Woobler. Though you'll never listen to this podcast, I hope that you have a smooth ride for the rest of your time, and hopefully that you will leave this world in peace.
Yeah. And how does Ridley play? That's the
oh god. Yeah. How do all these characters work, man? Help me out.
We want to know. Next up, there was a Fortnite bundled announced for Nintendo of America. So this game, it comes with 1,000 V-Bucks and some Fortnite goodies, as well as a standard Neon Joy-Con Switch.
Yep.
For the same price of a normal bundle. So that's 300 American over here. Well, I don't think it's coming here, but it is interesting just to bring up just that Fortnite's the biggest game in the world, and PlayStation's had a bundle with them. Now Nintendo's got a bundle with their hardware. It'd be interesting to see how this goes coming into Christmas time.
Well, look, we talked about it on Dash Culture. It's a really lackluster. It's really lackluster bundle. You get you get a unique skin exclusive to that platform, same way that they did that stupid Samsung Note deal, where you got a Fortnite skin. It was so silly. Like, so you know, you get an exclusive Nintendo skin 1,000 V-Bucks, which is
Bet $10 apparently.
it's not even worth your salt. Like 1,000 V-Bucks won't buy you jack. You know, a legendary skin in Fortnite alone costs 1,800 V-Bucks.
Yeah, I think like what you get with it's a bit underwhelming, but
It's very underwhelming.
But if you're a kid who has an Xbox, and because like a lot of people don't know that Fortnite's on there yet, like real little kids, they're playing it. They might be playing it on their laptop or their Xbox or their PlayStation, whatever they might have, and they see this in the shop. They just see a tablet with controls and Fortnite written on it.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty smart idea because they've got this alongside Pokemon and Smash, and obviously they're very different markets to Fortnite, which is a lot broader appealing sort of at the moment.
Well, see, what I think my issue with this system is, and it's the same one with PlayStation. With PlayStation, the bundle, it only gives you like a battle royale benefits.
Yeah,
but Save the World is on PlayStation. Save the World isn't on Switch, but I think it needs to be because you might as well, right?
Yeah, I'd like to play Save the World.
It should just come with Save the World. Like it shouldn't. I understand that BR is their main focus. Maybe give them a skin or whatever, but also bundle Save the World in there.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Save the World.
It really doesn't make. Obviously, it's just making them nowhere near the amount of money, so they're just not worried about it.
No, but you know, the more copies you put out there for Save the World, even if you're putting them in a console bundle like that, people may be buying it for BR, but you're still getting revenue copies from Save the World in that instance. And Save the World has its it's in beta at the moment, so a lot of its pay to win schemes are sort of dumbed down right now. But that game has them kind of things in it.
Before Battle Royale came out, their sort of free to play model was really poor. And now in their sort of Battle Royale mode, it's actually quite good.
Yeah, it's really good, yeah. So it's just a case of like, you know, they're really shirking off that main game. I think they should be bundling it with these consoles and selling it like that because I think a lot of people would get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So you know what, good for marketing. Don't really care otherwise.
Oh yeah, it's just a sticker on the box.
You'll find those skin codes on eBay for hundreds of dollars. Some stupid crap.
Do you know what they are, by chance? The skin, is it anything like?
Oh, it's on the box.
It is.
That thing on the box is the skin
that
you're getting from it, and the 1,000 V-Bucks or whatever. But you know, people will, you know, people who just want a Switch, who just want a neon Switch, will get that bundle. If they're not interested in Fortnite, they'll sell the code. The code will sell for a lot of money because it's Nintendo Switch exclusive, and you have to buy the console for it. Much in the way that you have to
get the PlayStation,
or loan the Samsung Note just to get that stupid skin. Like, you know, you could sell a Fortnite account with that stuff for hundreds of dollars because you have to spend hundreds of dollars to get them.
Like the Samsung Note thing, it's the Switch and PlayStation makes sense as a gaming machine. Like, I want to go and pick it up, play Fortnite, have fun.
Yeah.
But Samsung Note, you're like, all right, I'm spending a shitload of money each month. I'm going to be using it for productivity, for emails, for all this. When you just see this Fortnite code, you're like, oh god damn, got to get that phone instead now.
Yeah, need it for Fortnite.
Yeah, need it for Fortnite.
Yeah, no, it's not really a thing that's going to draw me in, but it'll catch the eyes of children, and that's fine, I guess. So,
yeah,
marketing, woohoo,
good on yous.
Good on yous. Yep, exactly.
Next up is Super Mario Party won't be playable in handheld mode, so it'll be available in what's called the kickstand mode. So you can play you can play it on the go, but you can't play it's just Joy-Cons attached.
Yeah. Because
it requires motion controls and not just button inputs and analog sticks.
Exactly, yeah.
And I remember the story come up when I had the three other guys on a couple of episodes ago where you can't use the Pro Controller. And when I read you can't use the Pro Controller in Mario Party, I was like, oh, yeah, that's okay. The games that are being used to play are very motion control heavy, and from a game like Mario Party, that's what I want. I don't want to be just mushing A or rotating an analog stick.
Yeah.
But the other guys were really quite upset that you couldn't use the Pro Controller, and I can see their argument because you know you've bought this thing and you want to be playing it. But I just feel like the games for Mario Party are just...
Look, I'm not even sure if it's just that though. Like, I know that you didn't really have a hand in that hand in that era, but back in the day on the N64, when Mario Party was obviously first introduced to Mario Party 2 was the shit. Like, it was the bee's knees. That game was really popular just standing on its own, and you didn't need any gimmicks or anything like that, and the mini games were a test of skill, and regardless of how you played them. Sometimes they were a test of luck if you were unlucky enough to get the wrong game or whatever. But I think that's what's got most people in general, is that like the people that do want like just control mini games,
old school Mario Party
fans, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, not at all. No,
it's to the sentiment, but it is a party game. Any technology that they can possibly use, they're going to force it in there because it's not meant to be competitive. It's a game of Monopoly, essentially. You collect coins, go around, buy stars. Whoever's got the most stars by the end of it wins. It's just
whoever steals all the stars at the end wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just a case of like, really, what can you do? It's got motion controls in it, and you can't avoid those motion controls. You have to deal with them.
It's funny how this is coming out after the Pro Controller news as well.
Yeah.
You think like a lot of us didn't put it together. If you can't use the Pro Controller, you can't use the handheld mode at the same time. So kind of like, why would you be able to use the handheld mode and not be able to use the Pro Controller, or vice versa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like I'm thinking like what I'm thinking about also is like WarioWare, like the GameCube WarioWare where you've just got a controller compared to the Wii WarioWare where you've got the Wii mode.
Mm-hmm.
I found that much more fun in a party setting.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm thinking here too. Just with like you give everyone a Joy-Con and you're doing whatever mini game it is. Mm-hmm. And like if it was just put the Pro Controller or Joy-Con on the side and just you got two buttons and an analog stick, I don't think that would be as much fun.
Look, I'm from an old school vein.
No, but I am too. Like those games back then, I really enjoy them. But Mario Party has shown over the last at least 5 years that it's not up to snuff, and I hope Super Mario Party is going to be the one that
changes that.
And
I agree, but like I think a lot of the problems attributed to Mario Party is forcing gimmicks and not giving the option to play these things without waggle.
Yeah.
I feel like they could not be lazy because there's a lot of people out there that have one set of Joy-Cons and they don't use them more than that one set.
Yeah.
Because no offense to Nintendo or anything, they're pretty revolutionary controllers for what they are, but they're not pinnacle perfection. You don't play every game that you possibly have on the system with them. There's no way in hell you could.
No.
The control sticks are really small. For somebody who's got ginormous hands, they're not the most ergonomic controllers to use. So like a Pro Controller is almost necessary if I'm playing anything on a TV screen. I'm not going to play it like that unless I have it in handheld mode.
Yeah, and then I guess that's the thing too. Like with the Switch, even me with the Switch, like sometimes if I'm playing Mario Kart, I'm just using the Joy-Cons separated, and I lay back on the couch and I'm playing that way. Other times I'm using the Pro Controller. Like I never ever use the grip.
No,
because I hate it, but other people like it compared to having them split. So having all these options on Switch, we've grown accustomed to that now, and I guess a lot of people with the removal of the Pro Controller, which is unfortunate, but as I said before, it's just what this game requires.
Yeah. Look, it sucks, but I think it was to be expected. I'm not gonna have a cry about it. Mario Party's been pseudo dead for me for a long time.
Yeah,
I enjoyed them a lot back in the day, but in my opinion, if I'm playing a party game, for me it's WarioWare because it's easier to chuck around a controller. It's fast paced. There's no risk.
Yeah, but we don't have that at the moment.
I know we don't have that at the moment, but Mario Party doesn't feel that need for me. WarioWare changed my opinion on what a fun party game is. I really love WarioWare, and I really hope that we do see a WarioWare game come to Switch. WarioWare Gold was great, and I hope that game outsells expectations. They're like, we need to get a WarioWare game on Switch. I would love that.
Yeah. Just the 3DS isn't the biggest party console.
No. But like, at least with WarioWare, you could, you could just chuck around a Joy-Con and do stupid things on the screen like you did on the Wii version, like we did on the Wii version. That was some of the best part about WarioWare is you could just do these things. And I'd absolutely love to do them again. So, I'll probably give Mario Party a pass unless it just turns out to be like the perfect Mario Party. And just leave it.
We'll see how it goes because it looks good from Nintendo's marketing at the moment, but
it does. Yeah.
But also did so to Mario Tennis.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mario Tennis turned out fine as far as mechanics go, but that story mode looked good, and it turned out to be not so good.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like with Mario Party, I think I will pre-order it. I will get the because if you pre-order it, you get the double the amount of coins on the eShop. That's not necessarily why I want to pre-order it, but I'm thinking. We'll sit down, we'll play it over the weekend, and then
because that's the way you play Mario Party, right? Like we're not going to buy two separate copies because what's the point?
No, well,
there's no online play or anything like that. So,
there is, but it's not very fleshed out. But
no.
I don't know if you need two copies for that sort of that mode where you use two Switches.
Oh, probably.
You probably do, yeah.
But I'm not interested in doing that really either. Because
the Switch is people come over. That is the console I turn on. The PlayStation, the Xbox.
They stay off.
They don't get turned on because it's got God of War, Spider-Man. It's got all these huge games where I'm just that's me time.
Yeah, exactly.
The Switch, that's where I get Jackbox Party Pack. That's where I get Mario Kart. That's where I obviously going to get stuff like Mario Party, Smash Brothers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I feel you. So I agree. Like if you do buy it, I will play it if you buy it, you pre-order it or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just not interested in picking it up myself because I just don't feel it's there for me, and I don't feel like you could have one Mario Party copy comfortably between 4 people because those are the only people you're going to play with anyway. It's rare you're ever going to play that game with just computers.
Yeah,
honestly, it's way past that era.
No, we're
in an era of online play where we can play things over the internet.
I get sad sometimes. I don't get sad enough to play computers in Mario Party.
No, yeah, exactly, exactly, yeah.
Actually, I better not say that before. Before I do. There's been a new Pokemon supposedly leaked in Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah, it's not even leaked, really. It's just become headcanon now.
It's just in the game.
Yeah.
So this is courtesy of My Nintendo News. So a Pokemon came out and it sort of replaced Kecleon's model in Pokemon Go. Apparently, that's what it replaced Kecleon's model, but it was labelled as its own unique Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, see,
so a brand new Pokemon appears to be have leaked in the forthcoming Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. You can see the Pokemon below, which you can't see because I'm reading this from the news article.
You can find a picture of it on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not hard right now.
It's really quite odd because listen, Jamie Penning, he's put on Twitter, he's actually found one and caught one. Has he caught it?
He caught it and it was a Ditto.
And it was a Ditto. So it. I don't know if this is a leak or this is someone at Niantic just stuffing up and putting a model of nothing out there.
Yeah. Look, yeah. I don't. If this is a new Pokemon, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
I question design sometimes, but I question a honeycomb.
A honeycomb sitting on top of a silver Ditto.
Yeah, so yeah.
What? I don't know. It's in the same vein as unknown. Why do you exist? Why do you exist? And if this is the thing that they were going on about at the end of the Let's Go trailer, it's you'll meet a very special Pokemon. This doesn't look very special to me. This in the slightest does not look special to me at all. Is that we got a comparison picture here of two different? Is that supposed to be a normal model and a shiny model?
Yeah, I think so.
My God, it's not even interesting in that sense. It's hey, look, you've got a yellow honeycomb, and then you've got a slightly darker,
browner, yeah,
a browner. Maybe I would call it mid-range orange honeycomb. And that's it. That's the only thing that's changed about it. It's
this is just where Pokemon design's gone. In our minds, we're is this a Pokemon? And they either come out.
This is not a Pokemon.
They either come out and they say, yes, it is a Pokemon. We'll go, that's a really stupid looking Pokemon, guys. Or they'll say, no, our code fucked up and it combined two random assets together. And no, it's not a Pokemon. Well, we actually thought it was because Pokemon designs these days are just going everywhere. So.
Look, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about if this thing is the thing that they were talking about in the trailer, and they're like, "You get to meet a very special Pokemon." Doesn't interest me.
Well,
I thought it would be that stupid thing that they were going to release at the end of the Sun Moon set that they never did.
That's coming out soon though. What's his name? The tiger looking guy.
The tiger thing.
I can't remember his name.
No, neither do I.
Because I'm outside of Pokemon Sun and Moon at the moment. I'm not interested in going back.
Yeah.
Maybe I will to download this guy, but I don't think it was him. No. Because if he's that special, he's already in the older games now.
I guess, but this thing isn't. This thing just reminds me of Unknown.
Mm. Oh well.
Same baseless, pointless design with no real catch to it. And then I don't know, they might come out, they're just like, this thing is actually like the god above Arceus.
Well, no, God is Arceus, and this thing is Jesus Christ.
It just, I don't know, it's not intriguing, and like, I don't know, unless it's got the ability to grant me wishes and...
It's not Jirachi.
Yeah, well, I mean real wishes.
Real wishes.
Yeah, like I rub my phone screen and it comes out and it's like, you have one wish.
Oh, that'd be cool. Why isn't that an app yet? Such a simple idea. Just rub the screen.
Genie in a phone app. Look, I don't know. It's a really boring design, and just like I've tried to I have ignored it, I should say, for the last, maybe I think it was about anywhere from 48 to 72 hours that this thing has been floating around.
I heard it mentioned. New Pokemon leaked. That's awesome. I went and had a look. Come on.
What is this?
What the hell is this?
I just don't care.
This wasn't the thing I was thinking about. Yeah.
And I mean, this is worries for the next generation going forward, starting next year, because obviously we've had our problems with the Alola, and you know some of the questionable designs in Alola.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, this thing is probably the most questionable Pokemon I've seen come out in recent memory. So, yeah. Well, not even recent memory, of all time.
Or just a corrupt data file that happened in Pokemon Go.
We had a goddamn hedgehog with a flower on its head, and we absolutely loved it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Shaman was pretty cool.
Shaman was pretty cool.
I like Shaman. Yeah,
exactly. But like, it was this pinnacle of simple designs. It was just like, hey, you've got one.
Yeah, well, Shaman's Skyform is even cooler.
Yeah, but Skyform didn't come out like
until Platinum. Yeah,
exactly. So, but we cared during Diamond and Pearl. We cared about Shaman. We're just like, when are we going to get Shaman? I mean, that thing's cool. It's a little hedgehog. It's cool. I mean, you could have just done something like that, Nintendo. I don't see why you needed to make a amalgamation of Ditto and Banjo-Kazooie life points.
Oh well, Game Freak, get in touch and let us know.
Well, yeah, Game Freak, I should probably...
Yeah. Data miners have discovered voice chat icons in Splatoon 2. So this isn't a very, very big news article, but it is hopefully showing that Splatoon will get integrated voice chat.
And game-by-game voice chat too.
Yeah.
So you can communicate with your team even if you queued up with them randomly, hopefully.
Yeah, because that is very important. Because
for competitive play especially.
Because all you need is something to be like, you've got the roller, please paint our base, don't just run off. Just like simple stuff like that. Yeah. Or even like, I'm going into the middle, you cover left, you cover right. Like stuff like that is so important in Splatoon.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, you might be going for trying to level up or whatever, and you might lose a couple of games and lose rank because you just can't communicate. Even if the other players are like excellent players, you just got to keep communicating.
No, for sure, absolutely. And I mean, look, I hope it happens, but I mean, only time will tell. I'm not sure how else to feel about it, honestly. If we get it, then yay, we don't have to use the app anymore, hopefully, and that would be absolutely fantastic.
They won't get rid of the app.
They won't get rid of it, but I hope that it's not going to be... I hope it doesn't have to be a requirement. I want them... If they're going to keep the stupid app for the voice chat, then make it a requirement for parental restriction settings where they have to use the app to do it so that parents can control it or whatever.
Yeah,
that'd be fine. That I don't care about that. You know, that's fine. But
so the parents can give them their phone and run it flat.
Exactly. But for those of us who are grown ass adults, just let us have the voice chat. That's all I care about.
Give us your voice chat, Nintendo.
If Fortnite can do it, if Paladins. I think Paladins can do it. If not, they will have the option in the future. Then there's no reason that we can't have it in Splatoon.
No, there is not.
Fortnite is the most played game in the world right now, and it's played by kids as young as 5-6 years old for all you know, and they're voice chatting and all that. And there's nothing you can stop that, and
you can't stop the voice chat.
You can't.
Nintendo, give in. You cannot stop the voice chat phenomenon.
Exactly. Anyway, next
all
one.
right, so we'll move on to a fairly sad story. So Telltale. Fairly sad. It's very sad. Telltale Games, makers of The Walking Dead, Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Batman, like a lot of great
Tales from the
games.
Borderlands, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
So on and so forth.
Yep, they've shut their doors earlier this week.
Yep.
Which is, if you're just a Nintendo fan and you've just played on Nintendo, The Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 4 have just come out on Switch, and Minecraft Story Mode was on Wii U and come out very soon after the Switch launch on Switch.
Yep.
But these guys are some of my most favorite developers, made some of my most favorite stories on in any video game.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead Season 1 was a real eye-opening moment for me, just how powerful a story can be and how powerful video games as a medium can deliver a story.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There was episode 2, especially of Walking Dead Season 1, is one that has stuck with me forever. And
I agree.
yeah, there's a moment where you're just in shock horror and you just want to stop this certain thing from happening. And I forgot I was even playing a game. I was just running down the stairs to burst in and stop it. But hearing that these guys have shut up shop, they've been having financial problems and structural problems for a while now, but I don't think anyone's saw that
foresaw this.
Yeah, that it would be the end.
Yeah,
for a studio that's been around for such a long time.
Look, it's really upsetting because I agree with you in how Telltale can tell a story. Walking Dead, I didn't believe the hype until I played Walking Dead Season 1, and Walking Dead Season 1 had me in tears by the end of it. I thought it was a brilliant game, but the thing that just irks me about it is that all the news that's come out surrounding it.
Yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
It's not even just about the company closing. So there was a massive struggle. It's been nearly 24 hours. There's been a massive struggle over getting your information correct and who's saying what or whatever. But it seems that the facts are this, and that is 250 employees were severed from their jobs with no severance pay at all. So they didn't get a payout for losing their jobs due to bankruptcy or whatever it may be. So people just rocked up and they said, "You're fired. Go home.
No job.
No job. See ya." They were still hiring 2 weeks before the closure. They were still hiring people to come on and work. So people that moved for that job
quit their previous job. There'll be a lot of horror stories that come out of that alone. Yeah.
Yeah. No warning whatsoever. There was also news on the cancellations. We won't be seeing stuff that was promised to us, like Wolf Among Us Season 2, which I personally was really looking forward to. I love the first season. The first season was brilliant. We won't see the continuation of anything else that might be coming out along their series of games, and that includes, and this was the big shock to everyone, was the final 2 episodes of The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
that they were ever going to make. So the second episode of the final season is out next week, and it is the last episode they're putting out, which means there'll be 2 episodes unreleased. And we've followed the story of Clementine for 6 years. It is the game that put them on the map. So naturally, anybody that bought, because of the model that they use, you pay for your season pass immediately. You get the stories as they come out. Those stories won't be coming out to everyone anymore, and they don't have any money to pay anyone back. So people have just bought this and they're not going to get their refunds, despite the fact they're only getting half a game. And the people that do really care about the story that has been culminating over all these years are never going to get their true ending.
Like, what makes it really sad, like, because these games are such powerful stories, like, characters like Clementine feel like real people.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And the fact that people were gearing up to be heartbroken with this season because Clementine, people's going to say, if she dies, I'm going to cry. The world they were setting up is getting so dire that, like, I haven't played obviously episode 1 of season 4 yet, so I don't know what direction it was going in, apart from Dylan and Paul discussing the opening few minutes. But it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be good for Clementine.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was geared up to be a happy ending.
No, but this is even sadder. Like, obviously,
this is worse. This is objectively worse.
Obviously, with real life implications, people losing their jobs, and like all that real life, like, crap, right?
Yeah.
But just having the series drop.
Look,
midway.
She could have died as insert big spoiler here for season 1. She could have died the same way as that said person, and I still would have at least been fulfilled. I would have been heartbroken, but carrying on the legacy with, AJ, and AJ doing what she had to do in the past, that would still, for me, be an appropriate enough ending to be like, Clementine did her best.
Yeah.
And she fulfilled
closure.
her...
You want closure.
Exactly.
That's what this season's about.
You've been following that little girl since she was 6. She's like 16 now.
Yeah.
She's been through this apocalyptic world where the world just gets more dire for the last decade of her own life, with and 6 years of ours.
Yeah.
So it's
from like the year I finished high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see that, and that's absolutely awful. I think, and you know what, like, that aside, The Wolf Among Us and everything that I was also excited for. The thing that really gets me, right? They say they're closing, and that is true to a degree, but they are not fully closing. What is happening is they're remaining with a skeleton crew of 25 people, just 25. And it's not to fulfill the rest of The Walking Dead, which this is where the confusion comes in, because a lot of people saying that's what the last 25 are going to do.
Yeah, there's been...
But no, that's not the case.
There's been conflicting reports
100%,
everywhere.
100% conflicting reports, but it has been talked about by employees that The Walking Dead will not be finished by that skeleton crew. Skellington. Jack Skellington. It will not be finished by that skeleton crew. What the skeleton crew is remaining around for is the Minecraft Story Mode Netflix series, which I don't give a shit about, and I can imagine a lot of people don't give a shit about, that put their money on The Walking Dead, but they don't have to put money on Minecraft Story Mode. They pay their Netflix subscription. It's there for free.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in the same... I have not bought the final season yet, but I am in the same boat in saying that I would be very angry about it. At the same time, I don't think anybody should be asking and issuing for a refund just yet.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
There are a lot of employees there, that the 250 employees spanning from jobs there since the company opened to 2 weeks before it was closed, that didn't receive a single ounce of severance pay. Any chance that they're going to get any sort of benefit from their company is going to go completely out the window if you start refunding now. And I think if anybody deserves the money at the moment, it's those poor people that just got laid off out of nowhere. So,
like, you don't need your $30 back just yet. If they don't deliver those extra 2 episodes,
hold on to it for now.
I hope a refund would be coming down the pipeline, but it is a tricky situation too, because should you get refunded $30 or $35 Australian, or should you get refunded half that because you got 2 episodes? It's kind of a
no. I'd expect a full refund.
Yeah,
Look, if you were delivering a promise to have a finished product out that you paid for, and that is the agreement that you've come upon when buying a game like this.
And that's the slippery slope with these type of season passes or type of models too. Like a lot of the time, you don't think about it because they're big companies and whatever. But I'm sure people never thought about this happening to Telltale either when they initially bought their season pass.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Oh, you want a beer?
Yes, please.
I'll go and get it for you.
Well, you're on that side of the desk.
I thought I was about to say something, then I'm still bartending. Apparently, here you go.
Yeah,
mate.
thanks, man.
You're right. I barely drank mine. Just necked it.
Yeah. Don't know. Just
Tell you what, these furfies, they go down so well. I'm not usually an ale drinker, but these are really nice.
Yeah, furfies are nice.
I had them on the weekend. We had I had my soccer presentations. Well, not our club soccer presentations, but I went to the league's soccer presentations.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's the first time I was invited there. And I didn't know really what to expect, and got a lift down with a mate, and got a 6-pack of furfy and drank. I think I had a couple and showed another 2 blokes a couple, and when we got there, they had furfy on the tap, and I'm like, God damn, I'll get some more furfy. and you know when you've made it right, when you're at a pub that serves a glass which is thin enough to wrap your fingers around, and it's tall enough to like be longer than your neck.
God damn.
Yeah. It's really weird. It was like a real tall, thin glass. I'm like, this is a weird beer drinking glass. But anyway,
back to Telltale.
Telltale. Yeah, no, it is like a weird position to be in when you're expecting the content and it just won't come. Like people who lost their jobs aside, that there are people up the top somewhere of this company that could have or should have foreseen this happening.
And gave a lot more warning and made the proper precautionary measures.
Because like a while back, they made measures, like they cut back on a few projects and stuff like that. So yeah, now it's sad because I was going to buy this. I play these games, but over a week. I play each episode like one.
Yeah, you
a
wait
night.
for it to finish, and then
so I wasn't interested in playing episode 1 and wait a couple of months, play episode 2, wait a month. I'm not into that. I'll just buy it when it's out.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is really sad. This sucks.
And like this game as well also was popular in terms of the online spectrum as well, not just people that were interested in playing a Walking Dead game, because at the time it came out, Walking Dead was a massive boom.
Yeah,
like because the AMC series was getting into full force and all that stuff, but it was also a big major stop in terms of like online content creators rooms as well. You know, PewDiePie was an example of that. He launched off this game really hard as well. Pretty sure Jacksepticeye did it as well. He played the game.
Also, it's heaps of YouTubers. Yeah. It was one of the biggest games that year.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So 2012, I remember IGN was choosing between this and, was it Journey that year? So
for Game of the Year. Yeah,
and Journey ended up winning, but that was only because of Telltale's sort of wonky engine, which was forgivable back then. But I think in the end, a lot of this was led by Telltale's sort of inability to improve on its engine and not be as reliable as it should be.
Absolutely.
Their storytelling in video games was second to none. Like, whether you like the sort of watching it and interacting with it more so than like watching just a TV series is up to you. But personally, I really like it just sitting back and doing a little bit of stuff and sort of observing, then making decisions which get implemented into the gameplay. But like a lot of the times, the engine just crashed. Like the Batman I played it on PlayStation, but episodes 1, 2, 3 they were fine. Then I got to 4 and 5, and by the time I got to 5, it was just like jittery,
buggy mess.
Yeah, it was awful. It took me out of the first hour of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of people sort of like stepped back a bit and said, "All right, I'll wait until there's a patch, or wait until there's reviews. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they really put more money into their infrastructure rather than just putting more projects, bigger names, bigger brand names, like they did the Guardians of the Galaxy and that, and I dare say a lot of these things didn't come cheap. So
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I hope everyone who lost their jobs finds a job quick, smart. And
Well, that's the last thing that I need to touch on about. I don't know if you've noticed this, but there are a lot of companies that are actually put their stuff out there, like Ubisoft and EA and even PlayerUnknown said something, all offering their hand out for these talented developers that are now stricken out of a job. They've all put out their application websites out there on Twitter and made it known that anybody that was working for Telltale, if they were looking for a new job, then they should apply for the respective companies, and come get an interview and see if they can slot you in somewhere. And that's brilliant. I'm really glad to see that there's a bunch of companies putting their hands up and saying what was done to you was not correct and you deserve better than that.
Yeah.
Here is an opportunity to get yourself a new job, and hopefully we can take care of you. And that's great. That's fantastic.
The video game industry seems to be quite good at doing that, because I guess a lot of developers are used to sort of once a game finishes, people get laid off. They get the studio restructures for like people who are in a certain expertise for that certain game they're aiming to make next. And because Capcom Vancouver shut down this week as well. Yeah. Which is also sucks.
Yeah, of course.
And like with that many people sort of looking for jobs in the same industry, it's going to be
it's going to be harsh, for sure. But like, I mean, this, at least within Capcom and Vancouver would have had severance pay cut, like, for people going out and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope so.
The only benefit that came out of the Telltale thing is that they keep their health insurance for another week.
Another week.
That's it. So it's absolutely awful. And look, you know what? If any of you Telltale guys end up chasing the...
I think you better offer him a job.
No. If any of you Telltale guys end up chasing the offers that go out on Twitter, I wish you all the best of luck. And absolutely get on that. And as for the people that bought The Walking Dead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've been a part of some of my favourite games, so...
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bottom of my heart, honestly. Yeah. All right, Bryce, let's move on to some Super Smash Bros. Leaks that got leaked early this week.
Jesus. All right, here we go.
Whoa. Why's your reaction to that?
I don't know, because I'd almost completely... Oh, Dash tagged me in a photo in the Australasian podcast. Thanks, Dash.
Dash.
So I'm just opening up my phone here, and look, I wanted to talk about this. You didn't know about this until today.
I didn't know.
You only knew about what was the Ken Masters leak, which is questionable. There's a screenshot of it if you want to Google that.
But like just on the Ken subject, because Ken's obviously a huge character. Which we're like, I think we're expecting pretty much as an echo to Ryu.
I think so. Yeah.
The screenshot that was leaked, doesn't look legit to me.
It kind of looks doctored. Yeah.
Yeah, and people can actually make fantastic looking Smash leaks. So even if it did look alright, don't even base your opinion off of the
No. It's almost as unreliable as a text leak.
Yeah.
Because you can prove a picture wrong faster than you can prove a text leak incorrect.
Yeah. But I think Ken is pretty sure, like, surely in the game anyway.
Oh yeah.
He's an easier one to fit in there, just of Ryu. Ryu, like, he's a clone of Ryu from Street Fighter. He can be a clone of Ryu from in Smash Brothers as well. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, Bryce, what do you got there?
So we come back from Smash Boards again after that big leak thing that we had on the Direct. So as most of you know, a lot of that Direct was just bullshit. It was.
It really was, wasn't it?
It really was. There were things in it that were legitimate.
They made the online service sound good.
They made the online service sound much better than it actually is, and we'll quickly touch on that before we leave today.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the online service next.
Very briefly, because honestly, what else is...
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly. Yeah. So there was a leak by somebody on Smashboards who had leaked the entire roster of characters, stages, assist trophies, and Pokemon. somebody went through the list and picked out the stuff that we haven't heard about yet and compiled it into a list on 4chan just so we don't have to read through the bullshit of saying, like, well, Mario's in the game. Really? No, never would have known.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, go on. I wasn't expecting just such bewilderment.
So I'm going to read through it in its entirety very quickly. So just before I start, grain of salt, this is a leak based on a Prima guide or an editor who was doing work on the Prima guide. Honestly, you would have heard a lot of the news coming out about Minecraft Steve and like all that being in Smash Bros. This is segmented from this leak. And it's honestly the dumbest thing, and I wanted to clarify it on the show because it's the most illegitimate sounding thing ever. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to make notable mentions of things that are just bull. So when you hear me say bull, you know it's I'll touch on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So post goes as: earlier yesterday, a user on Smashboards who seems to be connected to Prima claims to have seen the guide for Smash Bros. Ultimate and found out the new characters. Hyperlink for the Smashboards thread. Today, Prima revealed their new guide. It could be just a coincidence, of course, but here's what we're getting if it's true. Characters: Black Knight, Echo. So I think that's from F-Zero. Black Shadow, Echo. Couldn't tell you.
No.
Dixie Kong, Gino, Incineroar, Ken, Echo, so relying to the picture. Mark Ryder, Shadow, Echo, Shadow Sonic. Steve from Minecraft.
Steve.
And Vault Boy from Fallout.
Oh, yeah.
Stages: Helios 1, Mark Ryder, Overworld, Pac Maze, and Poker Floats 2. Assist trophies: 9 Volt, Captain Rainbow, Champions of Hyrule, Creeper, Forful, GB, Clonoa, Rabid Shantae, Solaire of Astora, Tails, Toadsworth, Travis Touchdown, and Wii Remote Safety Instructor. And that's a meme on its own. Pokemon: Alolan, Geodude, Blaziken, Cosmog, Decidueye, Diglett, Fletchling, Hitmonchan, Lycanroc, Necrozma, Nihilego, Skitty, Solrock, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Koko. Okay, so I'm going to pick out the things that just completely illegitimize this thing for me. Okay, Mark Ryder, don't know why.
Yeah,
I have no idea why.
No.
I see no demand for Mark Ryder at all. Going down that list, still Shadow. I think that's a given.
People want Shadow. People want
Shadow.
Yeah.
Steve from Minecraft, load of shit. Minecraft did not come onto Nintendo consoles until late. I understand he's a very prominent character inside gaming communities or whatever, but he's just not fit for it.
I don't think the character is that prominent. I think the game is. Minecraft is.
No. Minecraft Steve has his own prominence, but he's just... If you're going to pick anything from Minecraft, you pick Minecraft Steve. Like the most generic avatar you could possibly think of. And I know people are going to be like, well, but Bryce, Villagers is like that as well, and that's why Villager has... And yes, I agree, but I'm sorry. It's just... I don't know how you would put that in Smash and not feel like it was just some real fan-made garbage.
Yeah, well, like I have faith with like what Sakurai put in there. He'll be able, like him and the team will be able to make anything interesting. I dare say.
I don't doubt that. I just think it's the blandest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Like I personally. Like I've never been a Minecraft fan necessarily, but
I liked Minecraft.
Yeah, I like Minecraft as well.
I thought it was great. I loved building worlds when it came out and stuff like that. I used to have like one night a week where I had a mate over and we'd just play 3 or 4 hours of Minecraft building on our own personal world.
Yeah, on
Xbox when it came out on that, and it was great. And like I've never really had anything against Minecraft. Again, it's a dead meme at this point in terms of like kids playing Minecraft. I think everybody can enjoy Minecraft to a degree, but Minecraft Steve and Smash. Come on. And then after that, immediately Vault Boy
from Fallout.
From Fallout.
Yeah.
We've had one Fallout game on a Nintendo console, and that was recent. Fallout Shelter, right?
That's the free-to-play one, yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, Bethesda's been in talks with Sakurai about Smash or something. And I'm just like, what makes you think that's going to give them grounds to put Vault Boy in Smash?
Yeah, it's...
Todd Howard exchanged a couple words with Sakurai, and all of a sudden, Vault Boy's in Smash?
Just with how fussy they've been with adding characters to Smash. Like, characters that have come out of left field, like Cloud and even like Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Well, Bayonetta's not so much out of left field with Nintendo's relationship with them, but like Cloud, like people really wanted Cloud. Cloud's a iconic Nintendo character. No, not iconic character, not Nintendo character.
Yeah.
And at least his series had like real history with Nintendo as well.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And like, obviously, yeah, Cloud was one of the most popular characters in that series, so that's why
he's in there.
That's why Cloud was asked for.
If Final Fantasy IV ended up being the most popular game in Final Fantasy series, then Kain would have been the character, or Cecil would have been the character. It just so happens that the one game that actually was supposed to be on N64, mind you, but because the cartridge system
had to be size of a house,
had to be the size of the house to actually work on the console, they had to move Final Fantasy VII to PS1, and they did do that. So, you know, it's not like Cloud was never ever going to be on a Nintendo console. He actually was going to be at some point, but it never turned out. Anyway, you're right. He has his series has history.
Yeah,
Fallout has had. Bethesda has had barely any history with the Nintendo console up until now.
Just the last couple of years on the Switch, yeah.
Exactly. And all of a sudden, Todd Howard wants a character in Smash. You think they're going to grant him that?
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Yeah, like I would hope they would come to some middle ground and be like, all right. You know, Skyrim's a huge, like by far your biggest franchise.
Elder Scrolls, yeah.
Well, even Skyrim is pretty much overtaken Elder Scrolls at this point. People know the Skyrim name, whereas they might not necessarily mean.
Well, true.
You know what I mean. And I feel like a character from that, or even Doom, like because you know Doom runs way back as well.
It's got one. Yeah, that's it. It's got one of my favorite quotes in this thread. Actually, no Doom guy, no Doom buy. It's great.
So yeah, this leak, like everything you said, it's like,
well,
all right.
It's not even just that, but like going down the stages, it's like Mark Ryder stage. I mean, I guess it could be a thing. What the hell is Overworld? I don't even. Pac-Maze.
Overworld from like the Mario series or something.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Pac-Maze was the 3DS stage, so that's possible. Poker Floats 2. I don't know why you'd want to make a second Poker Floats, but sure, I guess. But going down the list, you know, there's a couple more things. Creeper is in there. By God, stop with the Minecraft. Klonoa is in there. Klonoa was a character from an exclusive PS1 game.
Yeah, but he, I actually remembered he's had games on Game Boy Advance and DS and Wii. So he like not the PS1 era, but he did come over.
Yeah, but was he ever popular past his PS1 debut?
He wasn't popular, but his games have always been really quite well regarded.
No.
I haven't played them, so I couldn't tell you from personal experience. But.
Okay, well let's just assume that Klonoa is in there. Okay, maybe it's plausible. His design is plausible enough that he could be in there. But then you move down a little bit further, and you've got Solaire of Astora.
Don't know who that is.
Dark Souls. It's Praise the Sun guy.
Okay.
Dark Souls isn't even out on the console yet. Dark Souls has had no relevance to Nintendo up until now. Sure, they gave him an amiibo, but I think that's got more of a company backing than, hey, put him in Smash. I don't think Solaire's going to be in there. If he's in there as an assist trophy, great. And that's what I said to you earlier about the assist trophies. If they're in there as assist trophies, I don't care. Assist trophies are just like, hey, look, we put this in there as a reference to...
Nice little nods, yeah.
Exactly, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But they also had Wii Remote Safety Instructor, which is an old meme from friggin' 2008.
That'd be an odd one to put in. Be an odd one. There's Wii Fit. There's Wii Fit Trainer from Wii Fit. Then there's just like
somebody twisting around and knocking vases over.
The graphic from every Wii game. Boot up, yeah. Just put the bloody PlayStation symbol in there while you're at it. I don't know.
You know, it only takes those. and you know, as I read through this thread, which was like, you know, on 4chan, so 4chan's like the place you don't want to go if you ever want to have a
good conversation. Yeah,
if you ever want to have a good conversation, you don't go to 4chan. But like the comments scrolling down, there's a lot of people that are just like, you'd have to be brain dead to believe this is real, simply based on Steve from Minecraft and friggin' Vault Boy from...
Yeah. I mean, I can believe Minecraft. I can't believe Vault Boy.
I can't believe either of them. I'm sorry. Minecraft is crazy popular, but if you're going to ask Microsoft for anything...
Banjo-Kazooie, yeah. I know what your answer's going to be, yeah.
It's actually got history with the Nintendo console, and I'm sorry, but Minecraft is dying out in relevance. It's not half as popular as what it used to be, and I know that Minecraft Steve's a very valuable character asset now because of what Minecraft had become eventually.
Yeah,
but I could not imagine anybody playing Minecraft Steve on Switch. On Smash Bros. On Switch, and it looking good.
Just his animation, like you can't. Yeah. It'd be interesting though if he did get announced. I'd be like, all right, what have you done? What have you done to Minecraft Steve to make this
appealing?
Appealing, yeah. Because I'll play any Smash character if it's fun to play and whatever. Like, so that's fun. But yeah, what can you do to Minecraft Steve?
Mm-hmm. So the reason I brought it up is that we had Metadocs brought it up in the Discord today, and the reason I had to bring it up is because this is actually segmented into many different mini rumors, and leaks, where people are just like, Minecraft Steve's going to be in Switch, but they didn't read the rest of it. They only got like Minecraft Steve's going to be in Switch, or hey, look, there was some really cool costumes that leaked that look very legitimate, like Meta Ridley and stuff like that, and that looked really cool. And I can 100% believe them. They look like legitimate arts. But stuff like baseless things like, hey, Minecraft Steve, proof tomorrow, lol.
Proof tomorrow, lol.
Like, it's silly. You read the full leak where that actually come from, the original leak, and it's just full of contradictory crap. It only takes one or two things in a list like that to go, that's ridiculous. And the worst part about it is it's just, we've already got so many characters already. These characters are ones that they haven't announced, providing that they're real. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Apparently 10 more characters. Do you think there's going to be 10 more characters?
No.
I don't think there's going to be 10 more characters.
No, definitely not.
I'm not even sure there's going to be any more echoes, let alone 10 more characters. I think we might see 1 or 2 original characters, maybe 1 more echo.
I think we'll see a fair few more echoes. Like, we've got at least, like I said before, it's a shoe-in. I think we'll get Ken. We'll probably get Shadow for Sonic. I think we'll see a decent amount of echoes, hopefully. I'm thinking about 4 more characters, like original characters. Well, I think that's about the limit too, and that's a good spacing between then and now until launch as well for them to sort of leak them out.
Look, there's so many characters that I would want in that game, and there's so many characters that people from the Smash community would want in that game. But if you were to put Vault Boy and Minecraft Steve in Super Smash Brothers,
you put it that way,
you get enough outrage from the community about not putting Ridley in there for years. And Ridley is a Nintendo character that's been in existence since 1988. I think the original Metroid.
About then, yeah.
That's a long time, and he only just got in there, and he's the main enemy of that entire series. It took so long for Samus to get. For Metroid to get another series representation in there, and the first thing they came up with was Zero Suit Samus. It was another form of Samus. They didn't put Ridley in there.
Yeah. Just, after all that, just Vault Boy. It's like, all right.
Vault Boy, thanks. Where's my banjo? Or I think people would rather chorus men over that.
Yeah, because like what Nintendo like to do also is like have you be able to go, oh, I like this character, I want to go and play his game now. And even with something like Banjo-Kazooie, at least you can go back and
play the N64.
Play an N64. Like I know it doesn't make them money at the time, but or Cloud, you can go, oh well, I'll play another Final Fantasy game before 7's out on Switch.
Look, I just think, the thing that confuses me about Minecraft Steve is Phil Spencer's talked about it before. He's talked about Smash before, and he's like, I'd love to see Banjo and Smash.
Yeah.
And this was after they acquired Minecraft, which was the biggest game in the world at the time. He's like, I'd love to see Banjo and Smash. What? I don't get the logic. Where, like, Microsoft's not that much of a shill company that they're gonna request Minecraft Steve over Banjo in there. I don't think.
No.
Or at least it wouldn't fly by Phil Spencer, because Phil Spencer wants to see Banjo in the game. Oh, from an executive decision, we're gonna suggest to Sakurai put Minecraft Steve in the game. Why?
Steve.
Put Steve from Minecraft and Smash.
Steve, he's a lad.
Look, I don't think it's going to happen. No,
I don't know either.
That's the NL and BL of it.
So if when Minecraft Steve is announced for Smash Brothers Ultimate, you can send your tweets at IVRevan.
If Minecraft Steve is announced for that game,
You said you're going to eat your foot.
I will eat my foot.
All right.
I'm also going to go onto the game code. I'm going to remove him from my roster.
Wow.
As well as Vault Boy.
Wow.
When I'm at it.
Wow. You that against him. Wow. All right.
I do not. I don't.
I'm going to hack your game.
If he ends up in that roster over something that's way more desired, this sucks for me, because I'm starting to sound like those begging Ridley fans.
You are, yeah.
I am, but it's getting down to the wire here. You're granting everybody's wishes, and you're gonna cut out everybody else's wishes to put Minecraft Steve and Vault Boy in there.
It's not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
It better not. I swear to God.
Especially not Vault Boy.
I honestly, well, no, I honestly think it's a load of shit. But it just makes me mad that people are gonna go out and put all this shit out there, and then it gets segmented into smaller rumors, and then goes and gets pushed out there, and then people are like, oh, I heard this rumor, and then it's like, actually, it just come from a long list of bullshit.
Bullshit.
There is nothing truthful about it.
All right, Bryce, let's move on to our thoughts on Nintendo Switch Online. Earlier this week it came out, so we've had about 5 days with it just to try it out a little bit. I haven't tried it out like a huge amount, but I've tried it out enough to be like, all right,
yep,
I've got my thoughts on it. I guess the biggest thing, obviously, is this Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online feature where you can play NES games online together. Our first impressions, we actually streamed on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/iDruby, and I was actually quite presently. I was impressed with the online offering, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just playing NES games, didn't really get my tail feathers up much, but being able to just sit back and play with a bit of voice chat and play NES games together, even if it was just watching you play The Legend of Zelda or actually getting to play 2-player with Dr. Mario, I thought it's really neat.
Yeah, it is neat, yeah.
Because like a lot of people enjoy just sitting back watching a Twitch streamer, maybe writing in the chat, getting a reply, but actually just like watching you play Zelda and just talking to you like we're kids again, basically sitting in front of the TV, just having fun. I think it's really, really quite impressive, and I want to see more stuff like that for more Nintendo consoles. I love like another app, which is SNES, another app that is Nintendo 64, and I think it's SNES and Nintendo 64 where that becomes really interesting.
Yeah,
like when you get into Super Mario Kart, especially Nintendo 64, you can play, obviously Mario 64, you can sit back, watch it, swap controllers online, play Mario Kart 64.
Just the way the system's built, like, it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely.
But whether they're going to implement it to other consoles is what worries me.
At this time, it doesn't look like they
haven't thought ahead.
No.
I haven't thought ahead, but I swear to God, I really hope because it is real seamless. You know, it does actually feel like you're playing like one-on-one, like on connection speed and everything like that. There's no lag between systems.
Because you were actually at my place on the internet playing, and you were using my TV as your
the screen,
as the screen while you're playing on your Switch.
Yeah, that wasn't docked.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that was,
and it was 1-to-1.
Yeah,
it was 1-to-1. It was really impressive, and I really hope that they can do something like that with the SNES, like with SNES games and N64 and stuff like that, and just slowly build their way up. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah,
honestly.
like I really, yeah. I'd pay what I play for PlayStation Plus if they introduce probably their consoles up to either GameCube or Wii.
Yeah.
Because jumping through, like having a more like superior console, something like the Wii. Actually, being the jump between those games, that would be really interesting. Obviously, that is a lot more taxing on the online and everything.
For sure, yeah.
And no, I absolutely want that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
As far as everything else goes, it's just what you expect. The online hasn't seemed to change much on online play.
No, yeah, it all works the same.
More things have gotten voice chat like Mario Kart and that, which is great.
Yep.
Cloud saves, they work how you think they would, apart from the games they don't support, which is actually...
I haven't even tried cloud saving yet, honestly.
You haven't?
No. I'll get around to it.
Yeah. The concern that comes was a concern that I had before, where Splatoon, the player base is going to die a lot more because of you having to pay for the subscription now.
Yeah.
And some people have had problems where they just couldn't find a match. Don't know what time of day that was they were looking for it, but yeah, that could be a problem that comes up because of this.
It'd be upsetting if that's the case.
Yeah.
And
I feel it's a bit rough. So they won't, with Splatoon especially, they won't support cloud saves, and they want you to pay to play the game online. I feel like that's a bit rough.
It is a little bit rough.
So you don't get the benefits from the online service, and they also want you to pay for it. Yeah. I think they should have left Splatoon out of this, to be honest, this iteration of Splatoon.
Yeah.
Because, like, Mario Kart, you can upload your save, now you get voice chat. Okay, you pay $30 a year, you get the benefits of the online service. Splatoon, not so much.
It should have just been introduced when the console was launched. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
I would understand if they were like, hey, we don't have the Nintendo Classic system ready yet. But
no, they can't launch it without that, though. That's the incentive. We're going to make you happy.
Microsoft did it for years.
Yeah, and when they launched the Switch, there was no online game anyway.
Yeah,
I guess they could have done it when Splatoon 2 came out, but
I guess so. Look,
they're just too slow. They eventually got there.
It's unfortunate, and we're never going to be able to fix that. And I've already discussed it on my thing. Like guys, if you're not paying for it right now, and like you want to play Splatoon or whatever, but you're trying to talk with your money, I understand what you're trying to do, but like, you know, obviously
you're not going to be able to play online.
You can't
play the game.
Not going to be able to play online. You're eventually going to kill a game's player base. You're not talking with your money that this is something they're going to do, and you're not going to have much option over it.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is be a paying customer and make genuine complaints, because they're not going to listen to anybody that doesn't pay for the service.
Yeah,
because they just see that as meh. This is our new model. If you're not a paying customer, then what do we owe you?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people have ordered the wireless NES controls as well. Yeah. Dane PV and Dash, I saw on Twitter, got them. And like Dash put a picture of his purchase up, and it's $87.95 Australian to get them. Obviously they charge a bit more for shipping. So you're paying, say you round it up to $90. You're paying $90 for these controllers, whereas the NES Classic is $100 in Australia. So $10 more, you get the NES Classic, which is a proper product with a lot to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I own both those mini consoles, and
like it's far too expensive. But people obviously want them, and they'll buy them.
Yeah. I guess it's just the way it's going to be.
That's the way it's going to be. Now, I hope they enjoy them. All right, Bryce. Let's end the show there, hey?
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
Indeed.
This has been episode 64 of The House of Mario. We're a part of the 8-Bit Collective. 10 podcasts and 22 podcasters coming together to put good podcasts or excellent podcasts in your ears.
Excelente!
Excellent.
Bellissima! Very nice.
Yeah. Bryce, where can they find you on the Twitter?
Ivy Raven.
You can find me at iDruby, and you can find the show at The House of Mario. And if you enjoyed the show, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes and leave us a follow on SoundCloud. And Nintendo Jukebox this week is God, you think I'd be organised, wouldn't you, Bryce?
You are organised. You got the link up. You just didn't have it open, mate.
Yeah. It's a remix from the Shantae series called We Love Burning Town, and it's by Tony Lees.
I love me some Shantae music.
Yeah, it's good.
I love me some Shantae games.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're really good games. If you've never played a Shantae game, there's two. There's two of them on the eShop, isn't there?
Yeah.
Pirate's Curse and Half Genie.
I believe so.
Yeah, and both of them are great games.
When did you play the first one? Was it the Game Boy Color one, or?
No, I
Mine would be like the modern one.
The first modern one they put out was the first one I played.
Yeah,
the first modern one they put out. But like I've gone and played every Shantae game they've re-released. Well, they've put out since.
Yep.
And I mean, Pirate's Curse is the more fleshed out general Shantae experience. But if you're looking for something that's not so pixely and you like a hand drawn art style game, Half Genie Hero kind of looks like Wonder Boy in that regards.
Yeah, it's
really like
pretty.
Wonder Boy in the Dragon's Trap. It's nice and hand drawn and
handly
drawn, and it's like a real neat game. So you know what? Yeah, accompany with the music if you want to play a platformer. Shantae.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.